for?
Well, we're looking forward to came down here, looking forward to improve our health, take care of the degenerated parts. Yes, really, yeah. One of those things that is so important nowadays, especially now with the lack of activity because of the COVID situation. A lot of us have been still or just stopped from moving forward. So one of those things are like you start noticing that, wait a minute, I'm getting a little rusty, I need to move. And every part in the body starts hurting, A, B, C, and D. So we come to the realization after, Gail, my wife, discovered you about 4 years ago on YouTube. And the one thing that we say is when we go down to California, we got to find this guy, who's really excited about what he does. And we have come to confirm that, yes, you're a man of passion about what you do. You love what you do.
Well, it's
and
fun.
So transparent.
Yeah, you love what you do. We're talking percussionist. I can barely play a radio, but I appreciate your music. So that's like, it's just a blast. But human beings are the exact opposite of a car. You don't use a car, it lasts forever. You don't use a human, they break down quick.
Right.
And I'm super excited, and this is gonna sound weird, about your wife's knees.
Oh yes, I've been excited about her knees for a long time. Yeah, but this time it's just a real challenge for her.
Yeah.
And she's meeting the challenge, and we decided to come and see you. It came down, actually, we're right now in Tijuana, Mexico. And we love it here. We never realized how easy it is to get here.
Wait, it's easy to come to Tijuana? I know, I come every week.
Yes.
What, no problems coming across? No problems going back?
No.
Okay, how's the food down here?
Great.
I know.
Course,
And then the people are totally cool too.
Yes.
Now, have you tried any of the other things, like the IVs, the dentistry, anything like that? Yeah.
Yes, we had a real in-depth dental exam, so we know what we need now. And when it comes to the IV, to the vitamins and the intravenous vitamins, etc., and vitamin C and the other combinations, it's just amazing. You start feeling the difference right away.
Yeah, and one of the biggest things that people forget is that the body is, when you're in a stressed state, you can't absorb the nutrients. So it's like the forest is on fire, and you can get in there and get the nutrients directly in the bloodstream. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Buddy, you notice a difference.
Oh yes. I'm a person who takes vitamins religiously every day for years, right? Oh my vitamins, etc. But when you get this, as you say, it just goes directly into the bloodstream, and you feel the energy. And Gail with her knees as well feels the difference,
Yeah, and when you start understanding that the body is living tissue, that if you put the nutrients in, change the mechanics, cause inflammation, which totally freaks people out.
Yeah.
But causing inflammation allows the body to regenerate.
Right.
Now, what would you tell people that are afraid? They're still locked in their house. They're still watching CNN. They think everybody should be, 6 foot apart.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that I was telling you earlier, people have it wrong when they say social distancing. That's the worst thing you can do. Physical distancing is what we're talking about. Physical distancing.
Yeah.
Right? We have to be careful. We have to be discerning, I don't get myself into a huge concert. Now things are starting to open up. But I'm not going to go and get, between 10, 20 sweaty people jumping up and down, to risk my health. But again, people are afraid. We're all afraid of the unknown, right? So yes, for me it's a pleasure to be able to say, hey, don't be afraid. Just jump on the boat, get healthy, right? And I have a question for you. I know you're interviewing me. What is your challenge when it comes to Gail's knees? What challenge do you feel that you find with her knees?
Okay, this is totally cool. Okay, just random. We're looking at compression of the cartilage. Now, the challenge is really not the biomechanics, okay? Because anytime you have a knee that's compressed, that's a factor of how the foot works. There's a pump on the back of the leg called the soleus. That's a factor. The quadricep guides the action of this little kneecap, the patella. But everything has to do with the low back. Now, the key is this, and this has to do with all knee injuries. When you're walking with a knee injury, you're walking where the gait isn't true. You've got to correct, stabilize the pelvis. You got to restore the nerve supply to the knees. So it's a knee symptom from a systemic problem. You got to look at the whole body. That's why we talk about sleep pattern changes. That's going to increase the metabolism. We're talking about opening up and creating inflammation of the joint. That's only one small part. Changing the nutrients in the body.
The diets, right?
The diet, food. Everything. What we talk about is 3 stressors, and this has to do with any kind of regeneration. Physical, chemical, and emotional. So we're all sitting on a 3-legged stool. Okay, and you have to address all 3. If you're only adjusting the physical, like if you think a knee problem is a problem of the knee, and you're not addressing the autonomic nervous system where somebody's in a completely stressed state and they can't break the proteins to amino acids and they can't get the fats to fatty acids, they're never going to regenerate the knee. If they're taking medications like anti-inflammatories, that destroys the joints. So the biggest problem with people is to change their gait, change their biomechanics, change the sleep patterns, change the nutrient levels. And the joints always regenerate. Every joint in your body is alive. And so if you change the nutrients, the biomechanics, you're going to regenerate it healthy. Because when you look at a destroyed joint, you're going to see it's like wide, flat, it's not the same shape. That's still alive. It's remodeled to adapt to the altered mechanics. We're going to remodel it to adapt to the new mechanics.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that takes commitment, of course, on our part, to be able to consistently do the direction, take the direction. And the one thing that is like many times we don't realize, my arm hurts, right? And you think it's just the arm, and you go to physiotherapy. And in my case, I had this problem here, from drumming this way instead of this way, a special type of drum called the bata drum. And so I took it with passion, started playing, and suddenly this pain lasted for years, on and off. I realized it was coming from my neck.
Yep.
So I come to see you, and then you do the whole examination of the whole body and say, oh, this is where it's coming from. So now when I'm getting some pain in my body, I'm realizing, wait a minute.
Yep.
This comes from another place. Now I know it's more from the neck. You know, and I come here and I beg you, please don't break my neck. And what did you respond to me? You have the funniest response.
I think I said you only hurt the ones you love, and I love you, man. No, I haven't. I think I said I only break necks like back when I worked for the Italians.
No, the last time I broke a neck was when I worked with the Italians.
Yeah.
What you said.
Okay, and the guys I grew up with, honest to God, Bruno, Vinny, and Nick, okay? If you guys are still alive, God bless you. Yeah,
yes.
It's because this is, like today, you were talking about this really tight muscle, and I showed you how to get the curve back in the neck, and it shut off the muscle like a light switch.
Actually, to ask you to use that machine that. And I said no, I'm not going to do that. And then you went and you're very organized. You know what you're doing. I've been to chiropractic for many years, right? Never saw anybody just taking care of having the screen in front of you, examining every single part of the body, knowing what the problem is, because you see a lot of people, right? But just like concentrating on what I need. And you say, hey, no, what you need is A, B, and C.
Yeah.
So it's just great.
Well, I'm part chiropractor, part Jewish mother. Are you doing the exercises, honey? Okay, now what can you say to someone to take charge of their health? Because you've done that.
Well, if you love yourself, you got to do that. And if you don't love yourself, as long as you have somebody who loves you, you got to take care of yourself. You got to, the Jewish mother, right?
Yeah.
Hey, honey, please take care of yourself. Yeah, it really is worth it. And not only that, Dr. Bergman, but the moods. Like if you take care of your health and you don't have as much pain and you feel better and you take care of yourself, you feel good about that. Secondly, it's going to come out in your emotional performance. You're going to start loving people more. You stop kicking your cat or your dog. You know what I mean? And so it's just a whole thing. Is that we are, as remember that the right hand knows exactly what the left hand is doing. So we're totally connected.
We are. That's
One whole.
that's why, man. I even pray over my patients to make sure I know where I'm going to be guided to.
But
Even though I'm
you're
using-
gifted that way. You're gifted that way. I mean, the passion that you have comes from the love that you have for, and we feel it. We know it. At my age, I'm not ancient yet, right?
Yeah.
But through the experience, through the years, you know who's passionate about it, who's doing it because of the passion and love of for what they do, and you're one of them.
So you mean to change the world, we first change ourselves.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah.
To make ourselves healthy actually ends up making the world healthy.
Yes. You owe it to
Oh,
yourself.
gotcha, yeah.
You owe it to yourself.
Okay, get down here, take charge, but love each other.
Yes, and we may be able to meet too. We're meeting people from all over the world here.
I know, it is pretty
It's
cool,
great.
isn't it?
It's so cool.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's so easy, really.
Yeah, we got a couple of people coming from the Middle East in about 2 weeks. I think
Oh,
you'll like them.
man. Yes.
They're really bitching. Okay, good. Get your butt down here, take care of yourself, and love each other.
Yes, and by the way, I'm not getting paid for this.
You're not?
What, what is my manager saying?
Where's the agent?
When is the agent when you need it, right?
Yeah. Manager gets 10% no matter what.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
I'll see you back.
Thank you.